Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I am here with the BMW M5 Competition, and this video is to explain to you why this is a great choice, and in fact, in my opinion, the absolute best choice for Tempest 3 Tier 4. I hear all kinds of players all the time asking, what should I use for Tempest 3 Tier 4? What is the best car for it? What is the easiest car to use? Well, you're looking at it. This is it. And if you're playing this game right now, I suggest you start saving up silver keys, because in about 2 seasons from now, this car is going to be a Prestige Cup car, which means if you have 750 silver keys, you will be able to get this car. Save those silver keys. You need to have enough for 15 poles to be sure, and 15 times 50 is 750. You need at least 750 silver keys to guarantee you get the BMW. Sure, you can get it on 1 or 10 poles or 2, but bottom line is 750 silver key guarantees it. Next thing you should do is to start collecting dealership BMWs. Why? For fusions. There are 2 BMWs you can buy from the dealership. One in Tier 2, one in Tier 3. Tier 3. So BMW M235i is the Tier 2 car. You could buy this. It delivers quick, and you can strip it for all types of fusions. It's random, but you can get up to Epic. At the same time, because you can't buy 2 M235s while one's waiting to deliver, you can buy an M4 and an M235i, so you can have both deliver together. In actuality, is you're more likely to get like 2 or 3 M235 for every M4, but you're kind of expanding your ability to gather these cars quickly, and therefore gathering them up to be stripped for fusions. Not to mention, if you've been playing any period of time already, you should have plenty of BMW fusions. So, assuming we can get full fusion with the M5 Competition, what makes this car so good for Tempest 3 Tier 4? Well, let me show you right now. Tempest 3 Tier 4 has a few different performance point brackets. It starts at 625, then 630, 640, 658, 671. So you're looking at ultimately a folding max car wouldn't even hit 671 performance points, and 658 already would cover multiple stage 6s. So really 640 is stage 5 only. So let's take a look. 640 is without any stage 6s. You will hit 640 points. So here's 640 with all stage 5. What about 625 and 630, you ask? Well, let me tell you, it's really easy to set this car up. Just go like this. And magically, 625. Look at that. And if you just want to knock it up a little bit, 628 with 1 stage of body, but 2 stage of body will push you over 630. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. 2 stages will put you at 630. How about that? Even better. So 2 stages for 630, 5 stages for 640, and 0 stages for 625. You don't have to try to figure out how to set up your car as much, since you're only moving 1 body around. Can you do other combinations? Sure. But do you need to? No. Because at 625 setting, this car will do all the challenges up to 640. So really, you just do 625 to 630, just bump up body as needed, and then when you get to 640, your car was already beating those challenges at 625. That's what makes this car so great. It does everything really well. Now, the only time you need to really tune this car is for that top speed challenge, because the car runs best usually with lower final drive. As you can see, the Evo points go up. Then you just adjust higher until you hit our max Evo, which is here. And then you can also tweak nitrous a little bit for just a little more performance. At 625, you're already looking at a 13.3 car that does 1.99 0 to 60, 3.80 to 100, and 218. Now, the 218 is going to be a problem because you're going to have to hit over 230 by 640 performance points, but 625 you only need to hit 190, and 630 you only need to hit 210. So you literally can set it to this and not touch it for the first 30 races, and you should have no problem getting to the last speed trap challenge in the 640 PP limit, whereas 625 will be really easy, 630 will be stress-free, and by the time you get up to 640, all you have to do is bump your car up. So let's bump it up to 640 now and take a look at that challenge. So we know 625 will get you to 640, and when you get to 640, you just do this, and now you're at 640. You go back and you take a look at your tune. Now, why do I keep putting it to 2.0? The reason I do this is a setup I use for speed traps. I'll explain that in a little bit. First of all, at 640 with a little bit extra nitrous duration, you're talking 12.5 runtime, almost close to what you need to beat Donna in the final run. Not quite yet. You need a little bit faster, but close. Plus, you can easily hit the 230 mile per hour that's required for the fastest speed trap in the 640 bracket, and you absolutely destroy the 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 times. So again, no fine tuning required at this point to do the 640 challenge. You're all set. What about the next batch? Well, at 658 challenge, you need to hit 250 mile per hour. That's where a little tuning is going to be necessary. But what's interesting is this car will hit 250 without any stage 6s without a problem. Now, the best way to do that is to set the final drive, the top piece of the final drive, the final gear to 250. Let it in right there. That's usually 3.77, 3.78, 2.0 nitrous, because you want a hard and short burst at the very end to push it at 55 tire. That gives you a dyno of 247, only 3 miles per hour off from 250. And let me tell you, this car will run past this dyno no problem, at least a few miles per hour. So 250 is going to be a guaranteed run on this. Let's run it and prove it. All right, how do I run to get to 250? Here's how you do it. You use nitrous really, really, really late, like final gear late. So I am going to run this car with no nitrous all the way through to 8th gear. And I'm going to use it then. And just let it go. And 253. Just like that. You're done with the 250 mile per hour speed trap. Your car will beat all the other challenges. And now you're up to the final runs. You're up to the final challenges to win Donna's car, last 10 races. And the toughest challenges are ahead of you. The 260 mile per hour speed trap along with the 1.494 0 to 60. Well, let's take a look at that 0 to 60 first. Okay? With stage 5 only, 1.486. Now, mind you, that's a single gear 0 to 60 because that into 60. So you're going to run a single gear 0 to 60 and you should be able to hit that number. I'm going to try it. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm pretty sure you can hit it. So let's do it real quick. It's going to be a launch, nitrous, and done. Done. 1.403. Crushed it. No problem at all, right? 1.494 is the target. You just did a 1.403. That sprint is done onto Donna's car. Not quite yet. We need to hit 260 mile per hour. This is where things get a little more interesting. You do need some stage 6s for this. Let's take a look at those. So, 260 mile per hour and under 12.3 would be a safe place to be for this car in order to win Donna's car, because she's going to run around the 12.4. She's going to have to you're going to have to get through that 260 mile per hour speed trap. But if you can do 12.2 or better, you're pretty much guaranteed to have the F50 from her. Now, what stage 6s are the best? Well, you can beat the entire thing on either one single stage 6 nitrous or one single stage 6 body. Everything else requires at least 2. There's only one combination that really sucks, and that is tire and intake. Let's take a look at that one first, because I want to give you the bad news before I give you the good news. Let's take a look at it. So to do the 260, the best thing is to put it to 2.59, because that essentially puts the car to end right at 260. We leave the tire at 55 as usual. Nitrous 2.0. This is the same strategy, but let's see if we can, how close we can get to 260. Here we go. All right. Again, use it in the end. You're going to try to hit nitrous right around 220 miles per hour to give you the best shot at getting this done. But so close. So very close, but not quite. This is so close, I almost want to say I could do this. But I could spend the next half an hour doing this, and you may actually get it. That is really, really close. I'm almost tempted to bump it up one just to try it. Let's do it. And mind you, that is the worst 2 combination for speed trap, because it's tire and intake, the weakest power adder, along with something that usually drags you down from getting speed traps, and we're almost at 260. So it's all good news in a sense. Come on, do it. Yes, I got it. Yes. All right, I take it back. You could do it with tire and intake. That was a surprise to me, actually, because I was struggling to hit this earlier when I was testing and it didn't work. But hey, we just got it with intake and tire. So the only combination that won't do it is no combination. Every single combination of 2 stage 6s will get you through 260. Now, that's the worst 2. Let's look at some of the best here. So turbo and tire is second worst, but if you can do it on intake, you can do it on turbo and tire, okay? So tire doesn't help as much. Now, what about the others? Well, I can't get it on a single engine or trans, but they come close. They go to like 256, 257. But body and nitrous can do it on their own. Let's try body first, because nitrous usually helps with speed traps, but let's look at body. All right, dyno says 254. We're already pretty close to where we need to be. 6 miles per hour, this car should be able to push past that. So let's do it. All right, so I'm running it just like I run all other 260 mile per hour speed trap. And it's easy peasy. Now, I noticed that the car actually pushed to 262. This tells me something. I can actually push it to something like this for the speed trap, because you want it, especially for the ones that are closer like intake and turbo, you want it to end right at 260. So you can actually put it to 3.62 and probably still hit 260 mile per hour, topping out. It's a thought, but obviously 3.60 will do it as well. So that's where you're going to play with that little bit of final drive, and then the timing of the nitrous at the end to push you through. So we just did it on the body alone. But body alone is not the end of the story here. Nitrous can do it alone as well. But chances are, because you're going through Prestige Cup, you're going to get at least 2 stage 6s that season. Okay, now understandable that yes, you can get 2 intakes or even 3 intakes, as some people have shown despite pulling crates. So you could have really bad luck, but save up some bronze keys as well alongside your silver keys. Just make sure you get at least 2 stage 6s other than, say, intake, intake, and intake. or turbo, 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 right? So as long as you have a combination of any two of these, you should be able to do this without a problem. Another combination would be, for example, turbo and intake, right? Let's take body out. Now, that's generally not considered a great combination. Those are usually weaker stage 6s. But in this case, for the purpose of this car, it's good enough. Because you can test it by looking here at the time. Yes, it's not great, but 12.2 will beat Donna. Also, the 0 to 100's there, and at 3.60 or 1, we're at 252.5. So speed trap, you can do it as well. Bottom line is, this is why this car is so great for Tempest 3 Tier 4. Any two combination of stage 6 will get you through the entire thing. Sure, you may have to tweak it a little bit at the end with regard to specific timing of the nitrous, and maybe the setup is a little more difficult, but you can do it on almost the two weakest stage 6s in the game for the car without breaking a sweat. The only one that's a little tough on the 260 mile per hour is when you combine tire with either turbo or intake, but if you're combining with any of the others, it'll run well past 260, so you won't have any problems. And again, nitrous and body will let you do it with one stage 6 for the whole event. Oh yeah, I probably need to show you what the time is when you run the stage 6, just to make sure that I'm not talking out of my rear end here about beating Donna with one stage 6, right? So in order to beat her, we still need to run the time, and she runs about a 12.4 at the end. Let's just say 12.3. So that means you have to tune the car to actually run well. This car runs 12.111 with nitrous. 12.111. That'll beat her. Okay? That's why I'm saying one stage 6 is enough. Sure, would I always want to run at least 11s to be safe? Yes. That's just the way I play this game. I don't take on challenges that, even if I know that she runs a 12.4, I'm going to give myself as much margin of error as possible, and certainly I'm going to try to run somewhere in the much faster range. So yeah, if you got the stage 6s that can be used, stick them on the car. Don't rely on luck to get through. But if you had to, and that's all you got, understand that you can do it with just one stage 6. All right, now, that being said, fusions, fusions, fusions. You cannot get the same numbers I am showing if you're missing even one epic fusion. It'll be a different number. It'll be slower. It might be that 0.3 mile per hour slower that will drive you crazy because you can't get through, and you'll be complaining on my channel. Please start buying and stripping cars. Calculate how many fusions you need for this car. You need 91, and they're spread out between epic, rare, and uncommon. And you know that generally speaking, tier 4 cars don't require a huge number of epics, but each of these have 3 to 4 epics depending on which part you're talking about. So you got to assume you need enough epics of each type, which really isn't that many. You talk about 3 engine, 3 turbo, mostly 3s, okay, 3 intakes, 4 intakes, ooh, more intakes, and 3 nitrous. So most of them require 3. One part, 2 part may require 4. That's what you have to work towards, but you got to get those specific ones. I know that it's tough as a new player to get these fusions. It's frustrating trying to strip cars and keep getting the same crappy one you don't need. But you have 2 seasons to buy and strip BMWs. So you can calculate exactly how many you have, what you have available. When the M5 comes, max it out as much as you can with the fusions, and you should be fine. And if you have 3 or 4 stage 6s, you could be missing a few epic fusions. It won't hurt you, and you still be able to do this. So that is why I am saying, and I'm reiterating, that this is the best choice for Tempest 3 Tier 4. Feel free to disagree with me though. You can always comment in the comment section of my videos or ask questions. I always try to answer them. Hey, if you like this video, do leave a like, and please feel free to share it with your friends who are stuck in Tempest 3 Tier 4 and let them know that this car is coming, and make sure they're prepared to 1, get it, and 2, build it. And as always, if you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications when I put up new videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you next time.